Hello, everybody. Long time no see, no speak. It's been a while. Brett,
I've grown 6 beards in the time it took since our last episode.
Shaved each one and then grew another one back stronger. As our bond has grown stronger.
It's down to my ankles. I have to tie it around my ankles.
Like Rumpelstiltskin.
I don't trip over it.
We are back. Real Rendezvous.
Back in the studio.
Back in the saddle. Brett, I missed you so much.
I missed you. I missed this.
Yeah, you know, and one of the funny things about it is we haven't recorded and actually posted since, I believe, June 10th. And to be honest, me and you really have only seen each other once since then.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Yeah, Hunter switched up on me, found a new best friend, and threw me into the gutter.
I don't know about all that.
I mean, I've known him for like 5 years. He's known her for like 2 months now. I mean, I'm just saying the loyalty it's a little disappointing.
I think you're stretching things a little bit, but so what Brett is alluding to is the reason for our absence is I am now a father. Me and my wife had a little girl on June 29th. Her name is Tatum Juliet, and she's the most beautiful girl in the entire world.
Yeah,
Brett can attest.
Yeah, no, she's great. I love her.
Yeah, she is Brett's favoritist. You don't have another niece, do you?
No.
She's Brett's favoritist niece, for sure.
My only other sibling is 8. I don't know how else I
just had to
niece.
spot check that real quick.
I don't know where another one would come from if not
just had
you.
to double check, you know. Well, maybe Alyssa's got some skeletons in her closet. I don't know. But so yeah, that's the biggest reason why we've had a little hiatus here. Yeah, no tears really shed. You know, got to do what you got to do in life. Me and Alyssa, obviously this is our first kid, and we've been spending as much time as possible with Tatum.
Yeah, they've been doing great.
Yeah,
they've been doing a really good job. We're proud of them.
For the record, Brett's a great uncle too. When he came over tonight, Tatum kept looking at him.
Yep, I gave her Monster Energy. It's great. She's bouncing off the walls.
Yeah, she's upstairs doing push-ups right now.
Yeah.
So
taught her how to walk in 2 seconds. So
yeah, she's
life hack for all you up and coming parents out there. Monster Energy is a gateway drug to success.
Yeah, Alyssa, the whole time she was pregnant, she Googled, you know, how much caffeine a pregnant person's allowed to have, and she definitely hit that limit as much as she could because, you know, Alyssa loves her Coca-Cola.
Doctors don't want you to know because it'll unlock 100% of the baby's brain.
She's going to turn into, what's that movie with Scarlett Johansson?
Lucy, I think?
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Instead of Lucy, it's going to be Tatum.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so that's what we've had going on, you know, in the Real Rendezvous fam. Other than that, you know, just life, work and whatnot. I'm saying a lot. I guess we better move on. But yeah, so I'm a dad now. For our 3 listeners, make sure you reach out and congratulate me and Brett on being an uncle. So Brett's the uncle.
Yeah. Congratulate him on being a dad. Congratulate me on being an uncle.
We're in it together, bro. So
we do the overly muscular handshake from
the Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Arnold Schwarzenegger Carl Weathers handshake.
Yeah.
Have you
with the zoom in?
You've seen Predator, right? You haven't. Okay. I didn't think you had.
No, I'm
but
not
then
seeing
for some
any of
reason
them.
I was thinking we'll get to some Predator shit here shortly.
I still need to watch it. I don't even have a reason that I haven't.
I don't even know how to like preview it to you and pitch it to you because it's like
I want to watch it. I just haven't sat down and turned it on yet.
Well, since, you know, for the longest time watching it, here we go on a tangent, but for the longest time watching it, you know, I always just, as a young kid, big, crazy action movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I got to watch it just because it's, you know, stuff blows up, people get cut to bits, fun. But since then, I actually listened to a podcast, shout out to Horror Movie Club, and they, like, in their review of Predator, explained that a lot of people have viewed it as a satire of what, 80s over the top action movies are. And if you watch it in that view, it kind of changes your perspective a little bit. Makes it a little more funnier than it actually is.
That's what Tropic Thunder is, isn't it?
Tropic Thunder is that for sure.
Yeah, okay.
But like it's Tropic Thunder's a lot more on the nose.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean though with Predator. Like you view it as an action movie, and it executes it well. But at the same time, after realizing it's a satire, you kind of, I can see where that's coming. Because,
have any of the creators come out and been like, yeah, we were spoofing?
That's another thing. Like, John McTiernan has been, like, asked that. He's the director, great action film director, also made Die Hard.
Favorite Christmas movie?
It's the ultimate Christmas movie. He has been asked that, and he never gives, like, a straight-up, yes or no answer. But he always alludes to it.
Okay.
So... we need to definitely watch that one sometime. But anyways, we'll bounce back on some more Predator stuff here in a little bit. We can go ahead and jump into some movies. So straight up though, you want to go ahead and drop down? Well, we're not reviewing anything.
Yeah. Today, guys, we are sitting down. Our little ramblings before we get to the movie. This is a feature length version of that.
Yeah,
we're just catching up on everything we missed out on in our absence.
We could never get to a movie at this moment.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we're just going to go over some stuff.
We're just having some fun today.
Yeah, we're just going to go over some stuff that's dropped in the past couple months. Some movies we have watched, TV shows. Brett's got some info on Comic-Con that we need to go over. Some pretty cool shit there. So yeah, I mean we'll dabble a little bit here.
Yeah.
You want to jump into some movies that have came out in the past, 2 months?
Yeah. Do you want to start with the good or the bad?
Man, we only review good shit here. You know that.
Yeah, we try to.
Yeah, that's a lie. Actually, I think we enjoy schlock more often than not.
Yeah, when it's done well.
Right. We can just go down in the order I have on my list here. First thing I got listed, Multiverse of Madness. Did we talk about it in our last one?
Yes, I think we did. We did.
Okay,
we did talk about
for those that missed
little comic book panel with the asterisks.
Yeah.
Check out Real Rendezvous episode 11. Yeah. Alien.
See, that's how you plug the other episodes too. Yeah. Get more. Yeah, that's right. You guys listen to more than one podcast. So yeah, but I love Multiverse of Madness.
I thought it was decent.
We'll go with that. Now this next one, see, and this is another thing, not trying to blame my new daughter, but there's a lot of things that I've missed in the past couple months. One of them being Thor: Love and Thunder.
Oh, you still haven't seen it?
Still haven't seen it.
Oh, I completely forgot that you still haven't seen it.
Well, and it's my own fault too, because it has been on, Disney Plus since then.
Well, it comes out on Disney Plus on the 9th.
Okay,
the day
so
of D23. No,
all right.
Comes out on the 9th.
All right, well, then I don't feel as bad.
No.
But
speaking of which, if anyone is interested in seeing Thor: Love and Thunder, Disney Plus, well, it's not in theaters anymore anyway, but if you skipped out in theaters, good job. Yeah,
so we can elaborate on that a little bit here. Yeah. Like I said, I missed it, but a big reason why I think I did not I got to go to the theaters and see this is because of the reviews that I saw for it.
Yeah, and we've talked about it a little bit before. We're not the type to listen to critics a ton of the time,
right?
Because there's a lot of the times where they're just wrong.
Yeah,
critics destroyed Venom 1 and 2, and those are, I think, they're great movies.
Yeah, I disagree with him slightly on them being great.
Hunter doesn't like the Venom movies as much as I do. But
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and act like they're the worst movies ever, because they're not at all. So
yeah, but yeah, Thor: Love and Thunder wasn't very well received, and I went and saw it because I'm a bit more of an MCU purist, if you will, than Hunter is. Hunter's more comfortable skipping out on stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Which granted, with this phase, you definitely can, because a lot of the stuff that's been happening in Phase 4 has been very disjointed, very more set up for Phase 5 than anything else. So if there's any time to skip out on things, now's the time. But so we went and saw it. Me and Dad went and saw it, and we both agree that it's not great. It's not great. Christian Bale is, I'm not going to spoil anything, but Christian Bale is in this movie. He plays the main villain, Gore the God Butcher.
Right.
And apparently a lot of his stuff was cut. They cut a lot of his scenes.
Can I interject for a second?
Yeah.
That's one of the biggest things that I saw that also made me give a big, WTF. Like, I feel like everybody said that he was underutilized.
Oh, completely.
Which I don't understand that at all, because you have a great actor in Christian Bale. Mm-hmm. And then a very interesting, villain that nobody's really heard of.
Exactly. And his setup is so cool, and like his whole concept, right? His whole thing.
Right.
This isn't a spoiler. I mean, I guess if you don't know the character, it could be a spoiler for the movie, but it's a comic thing. It's just how the character works. He's kind of like Kratos in a way, right? His whole thing is that, he felt let down by these deities. And so he decided, well, I guess I'll kill him.
Yeah. And it's almost like
he gets imbued with this magic sword, and which all of this in the movie is completely rushed through. Right. Yeah. But he gets this magic god killing sword, and he's like, oh, well, you guys didn't save me when I needed you. Bummer for you guys.
Yeah.
And he just starts taking them out.
Which I feel like that is a very good plot setup for a villain. The number one thing to have a good villain is have a villain you can relate to.
Yes, yeah, because like to a point, he's not entirely wrong.
Right.
But he's just like, he's barely in it.
Like you say with Kratos, one could argue Kratos is not just the protagonist, but really the antagonist of the God of War game. So...
Yeah, he's barely in it. The parts that he is in are great. You know, Christian Bale, he showed up to play, and he does.
As he does, yeah. Christian Bale slacks none.
No.
Typically.
No, he shows up and he does his job well. But, they're not interested. I'm sorry, I bumped the mic.
I thought that was one of those burps we were talking about.
No, that was my thumb jabbing into the dust filter.
Me and Brad have a subtle bet going on here. Who's gonna belch into the microphone first?
Well, they'll never know because I'll mute mine.
I won't. I'll just lay it all out there.
You can't reach it. I won't let you. I'll cover the button.
I'll lay it all out there.
I'll sabotage you. But because they're not really interested in telling this compelling character story. They want Chris Hemsworth to be silly, goofy Thor man. Now, granted, I don't say that coming from a place who hates silly, goofy Thor man.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of what they've done with Thor in the MCU. I'm a big fan of what Taika Waititi has done with Thor in the MCU, which is why this is so crazy that this movie fell so flat, because Ragnarok is great.
Yeah.
He did such a good job with Ragnarok, but I think maybe it's like an executive thing, or maybe it was just him, getting too big for his britches and misinterpreting, what people liked so much about Ragnarok.
Right.
Because everyone's like, oh, Ragnarok's so funny. And they were like, that's the only thing. That's all we got to do. And people will love it.
Yeah.
And it just, it's just not that funny.
So that's the other big point that you're making about why Love and Thunder fails is they underutilize good characters, good actors, and then also it tries way too hard to be funny.
Yeah, tries way too hard to be funny and doesn't stick the landing most of the time.
That's what I was about to say, was it's way too funny, but I had to stop myself and be like, it tries.
I made a tweet where I said that the Batman has more consistently funny jokes than Thor: Love and Thunder.
It's accurate.
And it's true because the Batman has natural comedy. It's not this weird hokey pause for laugh kind of thing. And the MCU's always been funny. You could argue that the MCU movies are comedies.
Yes.
Right?
I agree.
But, it hasn't been so bad. A lot of people think it has. A lot of people think that no one should make any jokes and it should all be drab and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. I don't agree with that.
I disagree with that, too. We're making comic book movies here.
Yeah, exactly. But I do think if there's any movie you can make that argument about, it is Thor: Love and Thunder. And that's not to say it's all bad. It's still enjoyable, right? It's a Marvel movie. There's stuff to be enjoyed. The action is good across the board. Not all of the jokes are terrible. Chris Hemsworth as Thor is still great. Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, as underused as she always has been.
We love Tessa Thompson.
We love Tessa. Shout out Tessa Thompson. Korg is still annoying. He was annoying in Ragnarok.
I kind of thought he was funny in Ragnarok.
He's funny, but in this one, they really
don't know if he's a character that deserved
They drive him into the ground in this movie.
What's the word I'm looking for? A revival. he should have been a character that was a one-off for that specific film. It made that specific film unique and interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And then just be like a little side guy for the rest of the thing.
Right.
They're really pushing him here, and it's not all great. The thing that disappointed me most about Thor: Love and Thunder, I was so excited for Jane Foster's Thor.
Yeah.
I think she looked great in the trailers. I think Natalie Portman's a great actress. I was really excited. And they just, again, it's just they just wasted
more utilization.
Yeah, it's all very disappointing. I think I'm not gonna say it's the worst MCU movie because Thor 2 is still like the hardest to watch.
You think that's still the worst?
No, Thor 2 is still bottom of the barrel, but this one was definitely the most disappointing.
Do you think that's maybe like interesting too with a character like Thor, that it went from maybe the two worst movies in the MCU is Thor: The Dark World, which takes itself too seriously.
Yeah, and then Thor: Love and Thunder, which doesn't take itself seriously enough. Yeah, that is interesting.
Yeah, and two like totally different directors. Where Kenneth Branagh, I hope I'm pronouncing his last name right. You know who he is?
I do not.
Okay, have you ever seen Murder on the Orient Express?
No, but I've
heard of it. The dude with
the
fancy mustache, Hercule Poirot. That actor is Kenneth Branagh, and he comes from like a big theater background. You dig him, but it's like he took things so serious with the first two Thor films, and then Taika Waititi is totally different, 100% different.
He also just shoved his tail between his legs. He's not doing Thor 5 now because people didn't like Thor 4 that much.
Yeah, I don't dig that.
I don't know if he stepped back or if Marvel like got cold feet. But whatever the circumstance, he's out.
I don't dig that, man.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's super fair. Because again, Thor 4, it's not a terrible movie.
And Taika Waititi is not a bad director.
No. I haven't seen Jojo Rabbit yet, but I know a lot of people really liked that. Yeah. And then again, Ragnarok was really good. I just think they flew a little too close to the sun with this one and thinking they knew what people wanted.
I think you lose more when you're trying to set up a trilogy and, like you said, get cold feet with the directors. Like, I'm a big stan in you need to have that consistent production team.
Exactly.
Say what you will about the prequel trilogy in Star Wars. I think it's head and shoulders better than the sequel trilogy that we have gotten most recently from Star Wars. And a lot of that, I think, stems from disjointed production with J.J. Abrams to Rian Johnson back to J.J. Abrams.
I think like good or bad, you got to let them finish what they're doing.
Yeah,
or just cancel it. Like which isn't a great situation, but like with the Amazing Spider-Man trilogy, they didn't switch directors. They were like, "Oh, this isn't working. Yeah, we're gonna go."
Sometimes you just got to take the L.
Yeah,
sometimes you just got to take the L.
I wish they hadn't in the case of the Amazing Spider-Man, but I mean, I think it's better than what they had planned.
So. Speaking of cancellations, do you want to go ahead and dip the toe in Batgirl?
I'm gonna cry my eyes out.
So
I'll tell you what. I want you to touch a bit on something that you saw that I didn't.
Well, I was gonna say we have a couple other movies.
I don't want to talk for like the whole thing because there's a lot of stuff that I saw that you didn't.
Well, here's something ironic is there are no movies in our list that only I saw.
Oh, okay.
You watched Prey, right?
No, Prey is.
You did not see
one.
Prey?
No, okay. Here, you do Prey, and then we'll talk about Batgirl.
Okay, so we'll jump into Prey real quick. I thought you did watch Prey. I thought you watched it with your dad. I guess not.
No, we just talked about how I didn't watch it yet.
Okay, well, you know what, guys? I'm thinking about my daughter upstairs.
Replay the clip of me telling Hunter
everything
that I
else
didn't
deleted
watch
out of my skull. So, anyways, yeah, Prey was a Predator prequel film released on Hulu, and it came out like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that.
It feels longer, but it definitely probably
I think it came out the first week of August, second week of August, maybe. I think it was the first week.
It was, yeah.
So this is a movie that I got hyped up for pretty quickly. First off, I just love the Predator franchise. I know we've talked about it and Alien quite a bit on the pod. And Prey was a movie that was, like I said, it's a prequel. So it doesn't really have to have anything consistently with the already established films, which is okay because none of them are that good. The only good one is the first one, and objectively the second one. I know there's a lot of people that really love Predator 2.
Is it called Predator 2?
It's just called Predator 2.
Oh.
Let's talk about like
Did they do one where they called it Predators? Because
let's talk about the franchise with the worst sequel names of all time.
Okay.
You have Predator, then Predator 2, and then I guess we can talk about Alien versus Predator, AVP.
Is that considered Predator 3 in quotes?
No.
Oh,
it's like its own thing.
Oh, okay.
I guess we won't count it then, so we'll just go Predator, Predator 2, and then you have Predators, plural, with an S at the end. It came out in 2010. I would call that a pretty good watch. It's not great, but it's pretty good. It's got its moments. Then you have The Predator that came out in...
Was that the 2018 one?
Yes.
Okay.
It's not good.
No?
Not good.
I don't know why. We talked about it before. Anytime I think about that movie, I think The Rock is in it, and you keep telling me he's not.
He's not. It's Boyd Holbrook is the main character. He was... what's the bad guy with the bionic arm on Logan?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's also in Sandman, which we'll touch base on here. But in Prey is the 5th installment in the franchise,
which is a great name for a Predator prequel, though.
Let's just say it's the best. So cool. It's the best twist on this like shitty name trend that they have going here thus far.
Now, granted, when it was announced, I did think that it was about the video game.
Ooh. I'd love that, but at the same time, it's like, don't touch that.
Yeah.
The video game, 2017's Prey is like near and dear to my heart. Same thing with BioShock. I remember like seeing months ago that Netflix is working on a film adaptation of BioShock.
I recently started playing BioShock 2 just last night, actually.
I need to get involved in that.
Yeah, I was going to say, you didn't play that one, did you?
Yeah, no, I haven't. 1 and 3 are a couple of my favorite games of all time.
Infinite's one of the best games I've ever played.
Anyways, Prey.
Yeah. Sorry.
So, let's jump through this Prey real quick here. Straight to Hulu, no theatrical release, and this film takes place in the early 1700s, Midwestern frontier of what will be the United States. And it follows a Comanche Native American woman as she's trying to, learn how to be a hunter in her world. And she's more viewed as, the woman of the tribe. She's supposed to be a medicine woman, stay in the teepee, whatever. And ends up a predator, one of the Yautja, land in her area and starts killing the natives. And it makes for a very simple storyline, but that's what Predator needed to go back to begin with. We didn't need all these overarching things, and I think that's one of the big reasons why it's such a hit. Yeah,
I think that's one of the. I saw I don't remember if it was a tweet or a TikTok. I saw a post on some form of social media. I gotta stop hitting this mic.
Yeah, you're over there trying to wrestle your mic.
On some form of social media that said, like, the worst thing you can do to horror is try to explain things that don't need it.
Yes.
Like, I don't know if you know about the back rooms, but there's like this, it's like this analog horror thing. It's about like this alternate dimension that's just these empty condos that go on for infinity. Right? And like, it's like that simplicity. It's like, oh, weird place. There are some monsters in here. But then people took it and they started adding all this lore that it didn't need.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, now, like, because now it's less interesting. Because now there's an explanation for everything. And it's like, well, then what was even the point?
That's one of the great things about the original Predator is it takes a plot of, this army super force of badass mamma jammas. They go to do their mission and they get intercepted by this alien life form that's just a superior being to them and picks them off one by one. And that's pretty much it. There's no real lore explained in the original Predator. And granted, it hasn't like fell to pieces further, delving into that lore as it's came up. But at the same time, like you said, like with horror specifically, like you don't have to overcomplicate things. Surrealism. Let's talk about like Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. A lot of the great things about why that is so scary is because your dreams don't make sense. Yeah. You can't explain them. So that's why it's so frightening. But anyways, Prey, this movie's just badass, man. It's straight up, right off the top. Like I said, it's simple plot. We have a great protagonist portrayed by Amber Midthunder. Apparently she was in a Marvel TV show called Legion.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've never seen it.
Well, apparently it wasn't very good.
Okay.
It was like very short-lived. Yeah. Okay.
But
it's a cool ass name. I think I tweeted about it.
Is it about a character named Legion or?
Yeah, it's like there's an X-Men character who's like Charles Xavier's brother or something, and I think his name's Legion, and that's who it's about.
I thought that was that like creepy dude on X2. Is that who that is?
I'm not sure.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The guy in the chair that doesn't talk and he just like twitches his eye.
Yeah.
We're like, we don't care about this guy. Go back to Pyro lighting shit on fire. Yeah. But anyways, a lot of great action in this movie. They go back to letting the Predator be a bad motherfucker. And another cool thing about it is he's still...
An ugly one, too.
He is. Another cool thing about this one, too, is he still has like that trademark Predator arsenal that we love. But it's almost like it's taken back in time.
Yeah.
With how...
You were telling me about that.
Yeah. So like he still has certain things that are more advanced than like humans' weaponry, but it's still back in time further than what it is in the 1987
movie. A spear minigun?
So like in the 1987 Predator movie, he has this shoulder-mounted blaster, like a heat-seeking blaster, and it shoots, like plasma or whatever. Yeah. But in this one, it shoots like bolts, like from like a
crossbow.
Yeah, like a crossbow, and it shoots 3 at a time, and it's heat-seeking, but it's he has to like manually reload it and shit. And actually, I don't even think it's on his shoulder; it's like wrist-mounted.
That's cool.
And in this one, he has like this little gauntlet that extends into like a shield, like a hand shield. Oh,
that's awesome.
And and like I said, you don't want to root for him. But there's this one sequence in the movie, and not to spoil anything, but in the Midwest back then, before it was the United States of America, obviously it was predominantly ruled by Native Americans. But the French had ownership of everything from Louisiana west. Okay, I brush up on your history. The Louisiana Purchase made by the United States, one of the biggest fleece jobs in the history of mankind. But
I miss when we could just do that. That's so funny. Yeah. Like imagine you just woke up and they were like, "Hey guys, we bought a new state."
Yeah, we bought all of that over there,
and it was $5.
Yeah, like I said, fleece job. But anyways, there's this sequence in the movie about midway through where the Predator goes up against like all these Frenchmen, and he just devastates them, dude. It's awesome. Some like really pleasant violence. There's some scenes where he is fighting some animals. Excuse me. He's fighting a bear, like in hand-to-hand combat.
That's awesome.
It kind of sucks a little bit because it's pretty heavy on the CGI, but you're not going to have a guy in a prosthetic suit fight a real bear. So there's a behind-the-scenes video. They pulled a Spider-Man on us, a Spider-Man Homecoming on us, where they made a gorgeous practical suit. And then they covered it in CGI. Of a bear?
No, of the Predator.
Oh, no. There's sequences where, the Predator is practical.
Okay,
yes.
okay.
Like that whole Frenchman sequence.
Oh, you're saying the bear is all...
The bear is 100%
and it doesn't
CGI.
Look great.
And it does not look great. Especially because it's a bear like fresh out of a stream, so it's wet, and it just kind of looks like shit. But anyways, there's still fun to be had there. And I like I said, I'm kind of surprised you hadn't watched it. You don't have to watch any other Predator movies.
No, I know. I don't even have a reason. I just haven't gotten around. I've been working a lot, and I get home, I'm all tired and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. I'm struggling right now.
No, I'm sure being in the coal mine is harder than making grilled chicken.
I don't know about that. To be honest. I'm sure your job can get pretty goddamn stressful too.
Oh, it sucks sometimes. I don't think we've had a slow day yet.
That's what I mean. But as soon as you get the chance, you need to watch that.
Oh, for sure. A question I have 2 questions for you as someone who's seen it. One, when I was reading about it, are they saying that this is the first time the Predator's been on Earth?
They never make that statement. And something else like I've seen in other reviews, which is cool. It's like, why do they even like try to make an extended lore with the Predator? Just go throughout time.
Just put him places.
Make it like an Assassin's Creed game, and just put him like against Roman warriors. Put him in Edo era and like feudal Japan.
I was just about to. That's why I asked, because I think a samurai Predator movie would be insanely cool.
So this is like one of the most redeeming qualities about that movie, Predators, that came out in 2010. that movie's plot is about like 6 or 7 of like the Earth's best warriors get summoned to one of the Predator's hunting ground planets.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and like they still have their weapons and stuff. Yeah. And one of them is a Yakuza. And he has like this. I'll have to show it to you, dude. Mm-hmm. He has like this almost Ghost of Tsushima stare down sequence with the Predator. Like, you know how they have the retractable claws? Yeah. Like it does, like it's like Kurosawa almost. Like they're in a grassy field and the Predator whips out its claws and he like, you know, gets his hand, just unsheathes his sword a little bit. One of the most redeemable qualities about that movie. Still not a great movie, but Prey, great movie.
Do you think that it could have had a theatrical release? Do you think it was worthy of one?
Oh yeah. I think even with the you know, somewhat janky CGI, a lot of people aren't,
because that was something I was like confused about. I was like, because you see all these great reviews and like the trailers look great. It's like, why is this a Hulu exclusive?
I don't understand it either. It's like they must have just finally lost faith in the Predator franchise, which is hilarious because they finally lose faith in it, and then this one's great.
And it's great, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if I got to give it a number rating, I got to say at least like 8.5, 8.75. Easily the second best Predator movie. Might be the best, dude. I might say this is a better movie than the original Predator.
Nice. Yeah. And then one more other question, because I saw a picture, but I don't know if it was like real or if it was like photoshopped or like whatever. Does she
like whatever?
Does she have like Nightwolf magic? Does she have green Nightwolf magic?
I don't want to spoil anything, but
so yes.
No, there's no magic.
She doesn't have green. Okay, then what I saw was fake.
Yeah, there's no magic.
I saw a post where she had a green Nightwolf axe, and I was like, no way.
She has an axe. So she
doesn't Nightwolf it?
That's like her preferred weapon of choice is this little tomahawk, and she takes this rope and ties it to it, so it's almost like a retractable tomahawk. Like she'll throw it and then yank the rope back.
That's awesome.
And like she's not the only badass Native American in the movie either. Like her brother is like the tribe's greatest warrior.
Oh yeah,
and he's like a badass too. So yeah, you need to watch it.
Yeah, I definitely will. It's on the list.
But yeah, so like that's Prey. But what do you want to jump in next?
Nope. Talk about Black Phone? Oh, okay.
Or Black Phone. Or Nope, or Black Phone, or nope. Batgirl.
Okay, we'll talk about Batgirl, because I'm so upset.
Okay, so earlier we were alluding to some cancellations, this being one of the biggest ones. Brett, you go ahead and elaborate on Batgirl.
Yeah, so Warner Brothers, I don't know, they got a new, I don't know if he's CEO or like head of creative or whatever. I'm not sure what he is actually. I don't remember his exact position.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
He's in high power.
Yeah.
They got a new person in a very high power seat at Warner Brothers. I don't remember his first name. His last name is Zaslav, I think. And when he first got, promoted to that spot, everyone was like, "Oh, this is what DC needed. We needed this creative change. We need someone else in the chair making decisions." And then he sat down and has consistently made all of the worst possible decisions for this company, starting with completely scrapping the Batgirl movie that was coming to HBO Max. And when it was announced, I was super excited. Everything about it sounded so good. We're getting Firefly in live action for the first time. A supremely underrated Batman villain. I love Firefly. He's in... I was first introduced to him through Batman Arkham Origins.
Okay.
And he was cool in that. And I did, I looked him up, and then he's in all like the Lego games and stuff.
See, I never played Arkham Origins.
No.
And I would like to, because doesn't it have...
It's my favorite Arkham game. No one else likes it, but it's mine.
Well, I heard it's like really underrated, because it has a really good, I want to say like usage or dynamic with the boss battles.
Yeah.
Like it's got the best boss battles in the franchise. I've seen a lot of people
100%.
So...
and it had Leslie Grace as Batgirl. I don't know if you've seen...
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not super familiar with her.
I'm not going to sit here like I'm the supreme Leslie Grace fanboy who's seen everything she's ever been in.
Leslie Grace fan club leader, Brett.
Yeah, that's me. I was when she was announced to be playing Batgirl.
Yeah.
The last thing I saw her in was In the Heights. She was in The Heights in a pretty major role. But I think she looked great. I thought it was really cool. The suit looked great.
Yeah.
I really, the suit looked good. Firefly's suit looked good. They didn't have any official images that they put out of Firefly, but there were a few behind-the-scenes images. And one thing I completely forgot to mention about Firefly, or forgot to delve into, the triumphant return of our main boy, Brendan Fraser.
That's my dad.
Like...
I just say that about every older actor that I love. Like, that's my dad.
That's my father, Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, Hunter Fraser. That's my real last name.
But, so everything was set up for it to be, like, just a fun one. And it was going to be straight to HBO Max.
Right.
So
what are you losing if it is
What
bad?
are you losing? It was a streaming-only film, but Zaslav came in and he axed it. And not only did he axe it,
wasn't Michael Keaton supposed to be in it?
Yes, Michael Keaton's Batman returning.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton returning to the role of Batman. J.K. Simmons back as Gordon. But no, he walked in, he said, fuck Batgirl. And he threw it out the window into the garbage can. And they said, we're not releasing it on HBO Max. We're not releasing it in theaters. The movie was finished.
Yeah.
The movie was done.
Yeah.
They could have put it up any day.
Yeah.
And he just came in and they scrapped it. And you know why they scrapped it, Hunter? They scrapped it so they could use it as a tax write-off. Right. And I'm not going to sit here and pretend I understand what that means.
We're not adulting on this podcast.
I don't know what a tax write-off is. I don't know what that does for you. I think it's a thing that lets you keep more of your money, or like they give you more back.
Well, listen, do me a favor. Don't make me look stupid either.
Do you not know what a tax write-off is?
I've never written off a thing for my taxes.
Yeah, so I understand even less why they did it, but they apparently thought it was a good idea. And not only did they cancel releasing it, right? All this hard work that all of these people put into it. I don't know if you saw, but recently they were because, all this backlash about them canceling the movie, they were afraid that some of their disgruntled employees were going to leak it. They wiped the footage.
Ooh.
The movie
literally doesn't exist.
It's gone.
Now, huh?
It's completely gone. There is not a single piece of official Batgirl media from this movie outside of set photos and other pictures that exists anymore.
I'm going to jump in here for you for just a second. I'm going to give you just a little bit of my opinion on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'm not as passionate about
sorry. I got a little heated there. It's just so frustrating.
Here's where I stand on the topic. I'm not like a diehard Batgirl fan. I do love Batman, and was this something that I was like looking forward to a lot? No. But what I don't understand is, A, they already spent the money. It was already spent.
Exactly. $90 million they spent on this movie. 2,
okay. Or I said A, so B.
Yeah. A, 2.
Yeah. Third bullet point. So anyways, also, it had names. It had that name factor.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Keaton returning as Batman. That's awesome. Okay. Brendan Fraser as Firefly. That's cool too. And apparently Leslie Grace, she's no small-time actor. And plus, it is its own new standalone film,
exactly.
Batgirl.
Yeah.
It's establishing its own, its own story. And then C, I guess. Why'd I have to start with A? I should have done 1, 2, 3. But C also is it's a streaming film. So what exactly are you losing?
Like that's the biggest thing.
You know how many movies go through Netflix studios, get put out, they're complete shit, but they still pump out more shitty. I see it.
You see them?
Yeah.
There's a bug on my glasses.
They still continue to pump out shitty movies because they know they're like, the gain outweighs the loss. And then also, people are going to watch it.
Yeah.
This is a DC film with name recognition that's streaming.
Bringing back Michael Keaton's Batman.
It's not like you're going down to Cinemark and spending $40 to see a movie and then you regret it.
Exactly.
Even if I watched it and thought it was shitty, I'd still be like, I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just so weird.
Yeah, I did see somewhere that like people, like the early critiques of the film was it looks bad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if it's being released to streaming, I don't understand what there is to lose, especially if it's already filmed.
Yeah, I was a little confused about the test screening thing because I saw some reports saying that people thought it was good, and then I saw some saying that it was just like it was mediocre. Mm-hmm. But like again,
even if that's all it is,
yeah, it's just such a weird situation, especially considering, not to get too far into it, but why would you have The Flash, and you have Batgirl.
Yeah.
And you have everything that's going on surrounding the Flash. And you canceled Batgirl.
Yeah.
Like, it's
just another super valid point.
Yeah, it's just such a weird situation. And then, you know, all the other things, they completely gutted HBO Max. I don't know if you saw that. Like, yeah, they merged it with another
Discovery Plus.
Yeah, and then completely purged it of like half of the stuff that made it good. Like, HBO Max went from one of the best streaming services going to one of the worst in 2 days.
Well, I know that some of the films that it looked like it dropped were not disappointing to me. I didn't really see any films that it dropped that I was upset about. But what upset me was there was a lot of creative teams behind specific, I can't remember which ones, but specific HBO Max television series that were cut off.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that sucks because they, you know, some of the best TV series out there is from HBO Max.
Yeah. So it's just super weird. I don't know what they're thinking up there. I don't know if they have a plan.
Yeah.
If they have a plan, they better put it into work soon because they're running out of money very fast.
Yeah, hopefully it doesn't go belly up.
They had to push so many movies back because they only have enough money to release 2 this year.
Yeah.
And those 2 were Super Pets, and then it's going to be Black Adam.
So with that said, do you want to maybe dive into Super Pets here?
Yeah, I don't have a ton to say on it.
Did you like it or not?
I did.
Okay, we'll
I like Super. It was cute. It was cute. It's like it could have been way worse. I expected it to be way worse, and it wasn't. It was nice. There's a turtle character in it that I absolutely adore. She's so funny. It originally, it could have been a typo, but when it was originally being shown off, there was a trailer that they put out that at the end of the trailer listed the rating as being PG-13.
Really?
Yeah, and you know, you could think that that's like a typo, but this turtle character, she's like an old woman turtle, you know, very funny.
Yeah.
But there are like 3 instances where she just drops bombs, and then they have like the generic beep sensor over them, and I feel like maybe there's an original cut of this movie where they didn't censor it.
Yeah, it actually lets her say what she wanted to say.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's cute. If you got kids, go see it. If you don't, you might get something out of it. It's got some pretty funny jokes. The Rock is crypto.
Yeah.
Which is like almost its biggest downside because the whole movie you're just like, The Rock is a dog.
Yeah.
Like, that's The Rock.
Yeah, The Rock is like so distracting in anything he's in, which is bad. It's a curse and a gift at the same time.
Yeah, because I love him. I love seeing him. I will say, Moana is a movie where he blends into the character. He
really does.
But that's just because...
I was literally just thinking that.
But that's just because Maui is... They literally just made Maui The Rock.
Yeah.
So they're like... They're literally one and the same.
Yeah, not to call The Rock super egotistical, but, you know, whatever. Kind of got a big ego a little bit.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know him. I'm never... Me and Dwayne aren't tight like that, but...
So... Super Pets, cool, fun stuff.
Yeah, go see it. 8 out of 10.
I never watched it, but
nice animation. The design, some of the designs are kind of wonky, but overall, it's a nice looking.
That
movie.
Animation style reminds me a lot of.
Also, Keanu Reeves' Batman is inspired casting.
Yeah. No, I heard he's like really funny as Batman.
He is. That we needed more of him.
I just love Keanu Reeves in anything.
Yeah.
So John Wick 4. Super hyped for it. It's like they keep outdoing themselves.
Yeah.
Like Bill Skarsgård is the bad guy. I love that. That's amazing. He's just like one of the most...
Scorpions in it?
Yes.
Which is insane.
Yes. Our boy Hiroki Sanada. Hiroyuki. I'm going to mess this up.
Yeah.
We'll just go with Scorpion.
That's why I just call him Scorpion.
We'll just go with Scorpion.
Not to disrespect my mans, but that's just what I know him as.
I'm like stammering really bad tonight too. For some reason I keep stuttering and can't spit out words. But I got that first pod back, the nerves. Yeah. And then also Donnie Yen is in this John Wick movie. So Ip Man himself. Pretty pumped up about that.
I do kind of hope this is the last one though. I feel like 5 John Wicks would be too many.
Well, I don't want them to pound it into the ground, but at the same time, you know, it's kind of like, which I thought the third one was probably the worst out of the 3. Mm-hmm. But it was still good. Still made a ton of money.
The second one is my least favorite. I don't like. Well, that's just I don't like Rami Malek in like anything.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I think a big reason why the third one I think is the worst, and not to go on a John Wick tangent here, is I feel like it gets so self-aware of we just have to have these crazy action sequences, and also
John Wick on a horse though against motorcycles. Well, that was kind of tight.
It was great. The third one might have had the best action, but at the same time, it's like that's what it was all about.
The first one is still peak. I don't think they'll ever top it.
Simple storytelling.
Exactly.
That's all you need.
Again, you know, you get into that thing where it's like, okay, we're overcomplicating things.
They're getting into that John Wick lore almost too much. Like, I don't really care about like why he had to go cut his goddamn finger off.
That's why the second one is my least favorite, because it's like, what is this locket? What's up with this guy's sister? I don't care about these people. Yeah. You know, before we were invested because John got messed up. You know, they were messing with John. All right, and so he put it to him, and it was tight. And you know, they just alluded to like all this background stuff, and like that's cool. And then the second one, they were like, they just like kind of like just pushed it all at once up front. They were like, here, you know, secret organizations and you know, one last job, and it's like I thought we just did that.
Yeah. He's been like on
like what
one
is all
last
this
job
stuff?
for the last three movies.
Why are we in the desert?
That's another reason why I just feel like the third one was just kind of like getting a little too overzealous with all that shit. You know, another great thing about the original John Wick 2 is it introduced the world to David Leitch. David Leitch directed Bullet Train.
Yes, and Deadpool 2.
And Deadpool 2. And one of our homies that was really involved in Love, Death, and Robots.
Yes.
So go ahead and touch base on Bullet Train a little bit.
Bullet Train is fantastic.
Yeah, this is one I'm really, really, really upset I have not seen
It's really, really good.
Yeah.
I have never seen, as big of a name as he is, you know, as big of a name as he is, everyone knows him, I know him. I don't think I've actually ever seen a Brad Pitt-led film until this one.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Shame on you.
Well, because Brad Pitt movies, he does a lot of...
That's a lot like that. He's like the leading guy before your time. Though.
Yeah.
Like that 90s leading guy.
But he was fantastic. He was great. Bullet Train has a lot of Deadpool 2 vibes. You can definitely tell that the same people who did Deadpool 2 made this movie. But,
I'm okay with that.
But it also has a lot of stuff that's like very its own. It has a lot of stuff that's like, that's Bullet Train. You know, like...
I feel like in the trailers, it had some of the best trailers, whereas... it just had so much that caught your eye and was like, how does all this go together? Yeah. You know what I mean?
And that's kind of what I love about the movie, because that's the kind of movie it is. Yeah. It's got a lot of stuff in it that like at first you're like, well, what's this? The whole, without spoiling too much or anything, the whole overarching theme of the movie is fate versus luck. Yeah. You know, luck and fate and how that plays into our lives and how that affects us. And you have all these characters on this train. Quick synopsis, Brad Pitt he works for this like secret agency. He's here to, it's supposed to be a real simple grab and run mission. He's stealing a briefcase because it's got something in it that, you know, his organization wants. But there's a bunch of other people on the train that also want the briefcase. And then, you know, throughout the movie, you see it all start to come together. So Brad Pitt's our lead. He's our main guy. Right. There's a lot of side characters that are our side characters, but then there's these two other guys who are called Lemon and Tangerine. They are played by Aaron Taylor Johnson, and I do not know the other actor's name, but I like him a lot in stuff that I've seen him in. He was in Godzilla vs. Kong. Okay. He was the security guard that hung out with Millie Bobby Brown.
I've never seen Godzilla vs. Kong.
What?
Yeah, I know. My buddy Logan loves that movie. Dude. He was literally just telling me the other day how like I really need to watch it.
You do. It's pretty good. It's not like mind-blowing.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Are you Team Godzilla or Team Kong?
Team Kong all the way.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
Hey, high five.
High five. Do you care if I spoil the movie
Don't
for you?
Don't spoil it for me, because that just makes me want to watch it even more.
Okay. Then you watch it.
I need a good kaiju movie. Me and Alyssa watched the original Pacific Rim for the first time, like, I don't know, a couple months ago. And it slapped, dude. I heard the sequel's god-awful. But the first Pacific Rim movie, it's a movie.
Yeah, no, well, I've never seen either of them, but nobody likes Pacific Rim 2.
It's like a top 3 movies I'm really, really upset with myself for not seeing in theaters, because I feel like it would just be so massive. But anyways, Bullet Train.
But yeah, Godzilla vs. Kong, he's in that. He's
funny guy.
Funny guy.
Yeah.
they're fantastic in this.
Aren't they the ones that somebody like says like they're brothers, and he's like, I don't think they look like brothers.
Yes, that's them. Yeah. And they're great. And this movie has a lot of emotion in it too. Yeah. This movie made me cry.
Really?
Bullet Train made me cry. And it's got great action, obviously, but it's actually got less action than you would expect from the trailers. A lot of the action is in the trailers.
See, it gives me, and not to interrupt again, I want to bounce with you.
Yeah. Bit. No, you're good. That's what we're here for.
And like I said, it's got these great trailers that I don't understand how it all comes together.
Yeah.
It gives me super like Quentin Tarantino vibes with more action, and that intrigues me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Just because, and I know you're not like super fluent in Tarantino movies, but like if you ever watch Pulp Fiction, it's like I don't understand how all this intertwines, and it does.
Yeah.
You know? And a lot of his movies are similar like that, where they have these 4 or 5 different plot points that go together. I get that vibe from this movie.
Yes, definitely.
Because I remember in the trailer, obviously you see the train, but I remember a sequence where I saw like I don't know, it was like a rundown town and like some samurai Yakuza badass, like with a cool back tattoo, like in a Hanya mask or something. Like, I want to know what's going on there.
Yeah.
And it just very intriguing shit.
Yeah. But no, it's great. The action's great. The acting, the performances are all great. The way everything entered. I love things that like you don't see where it's going, and then you got to watch it. You get to, some of it you get to piece together yourself, and then some of it you have to wait. You're like, I'm not getting this. But then it clicks, and you're like, oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And Bullet Train has a lot of that. Just that stylish, quick cut, directing and like cool graphics on the screen and a few fourth wall breaks. Bullet Train is every single thing I love about Deadpool a movie.
2. It's like you said, the Deadpool 2 vibes.
Yes. I think I might like Bullet Train more than I like Deadpool 2, honestly, because it takes that stylistic approach and it just like cranks it up to 11. So definitely, it's a definite, like, you got to see it.
You talking about like the quick cuts? That makes me think like when it goes back and forth from a character to
another.
It's like doing like with the camera sound.
And then you'll get those cool sequences where you'll see someone doing one thing, and the setting is great too because it's all on this one train. You get to see the dynamics of all these different cars, and then
who doesn't love a train?
Yeah,
I mean,
and then there's someone on this end of the train, and then it'll do that like cool transition, like goes out of the train and then across the train, zoom back into the window of another car to follow our B plot. It's really a great time.
Yeah, man. Like I said,
a few nice cameos in there.
Really?
Yeah.
That just makes it even more interesting.
Exactly. Yeah. No, you really got to see it.
Would you go as far as saying maybe it's in consideration for your best movies you've watched this year?
I think so. Really? It's definitely up there.
Okay.
It might be movie of the year for me.
Hell yeah.
I really liked it. It's damn close to a 10 out of 10.
Okay, so if we're going to go with some movies of the year thus far, I think we got a couple here. One that I think would be your jockey for maybe movie of the year, Black Phone.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to dabble with that a little bit? Or maybe you could let me dance around just a little bit with Nope? Because this is a movie you've seen.
Yeah.
But if we're going to talk about movies of the year so far, I really, really, really love Nope.
Yeah, I don't know if I liked it as much as you did. So you take us away with Nope.
Well,
and we'll get into it a little bit.
As we were joking earlier, Nope's the only movie me and Alyssa have watched in the last 2 months. Like, went to the theaters and seen, obviously since we had the baby, but got to get a babysitter.
Baby can't see Nope.
Yeah, she wouldn't get it. She would.
Granted, I didn't get it.
Yeah. Me and Alyssa and Tatum would leave the theater, and Tatum would be like, "Well, I mean, it was all right. I just didn't, what was going on with that shoe?
What's with the monkey?
Yeah, I just didn't get any of it." But so Nope is the third film from Jordan Peele, and third is his.
Yep, third because it was Get Out, and then Nope.
Okay,
I love the naming convention. Very simple.
His next one will be like getting wild with it, dude.
Next one's gonna be Whoa.
So Nope is a film about this brother and sister whose family owns a Hollywood trained horse branch. All their horses are like horses that you would see in film, and they're a black family, and that's like one of the gimmicks that they have. Not a gimmick, but a what's the word I'm looking for here?
Selling point.
One of the biggest selling points in their family's history is the first film ever captured on film was a like 3-second video of a black man riding a horse, and that was their great another great grandfather.
Yeah.
And so this movie takes place at their ranch, which I believe is in like Northern California. And just some strange things start to happen around their ranch after their father weirdly passes away from getting struck with a penny out of the sky, or a quarter, nickel, something. And they start to think that there's UFOs around their ranch. So I'm not going to like jump into any spoilers here. Maybe I will. I don't know. I won't. Try and keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
But I really, really loved Get Out. I think Get Out is like one of the best directorial debuts for any like director I've ever seen. I would put it right up there with like Quentin Tarantino's Reservoir Dogs. Even though I don't like Reservoir Dogs that much, but I know a lot of people like think that's his best movie, and it was his first. But I loved Get Out a lot. I liked Us. I didn't love it because I thought it almost got away from that creative, bonkers, I can't believe this is like how this goes together, and also giving you more layers to look into. I think Us is a lot more of a straightforward film than what Get Out was. I think Nope jumps back to the it's got layers that you can dig through and sift through to figure other stuff out. But also, it's got this almost, I've seen a lot of people make the comparison to like Steven Spielberg's Jaws, whereas it is a big blockbuster, summer movie, but it's also masked in this sense of, like I said, you can dig through the layers of it to see what the underlying meanings are of things. Like I said, it's about this brother and sister. They're trying to like find these UFOs that they think are hovering around their house. I would not call this a horror movie. That's why I do dig the Jaws comparison, because it is like a...
Is Jaws not considered a horror movie?
Well, a lot of people do think it is, but I don't think it's a horror movie. I think it's more of a thriller. Because, the shark, it's not in the movie super, super often.
Yeah.
Plus, you could also compare the shark in Jaws to the UFO in Nope. And if you watch the movie, you'll understand what I'm getting at. The UFO and the aliens play a bigger role here than what you're led to believe. And I think that's a big reason why I loved it, is that flip halfway through the movie.
That was my favorite part of it.
Of what,
I thought that was really cool.
Of what it actually is. And also, I love Daniel Kaluuya. I think he just embodies this sense of like lackadaisical, happy-go-lucky attitude in this movie. He's just such a normal dude.
Yeah.
But like
he's the king of being unbothered.
Yeah.
Like he reacts to nothing, and he's just like, well, guess we're doing this. And I love that.
I hate to be like a weeboo here on the pod, but if you've ever watched Naruto, one of the coolest don't give a damn about anything characters is Shikamaru. And he's got like the cool little man bun ponytail, and like he wears like...
Is he the one with the weird twisty butthole mask?
No, that's Boruto.
Oh, okay.
He's from way down.
Oh, okay.
But Shikamaru is always like chilling with his hands in his pockets and his foot up against the wall, like, do I gotta go do ninja training stuff? But Daniel Kaluuya is just, and he acts so well in this way that it's convincing. And also, like, his relationship with his sister is played by Keke Palmer.
Dude, Keke Palmer is a standout. I loved her so much in this movie.
I think she is the polar opposite of what his character is in this movie, whereas she's like this body full of energy. And they both just bounce off of each other. You can totally believe they're brother and sister.
Yeah, I know. They have great chemistry.
And plus, one of the secondary characters, Brandon Perea, he plays a character named...
The tech guy?
Yeah, Angel.
Yeah, I loved him.
And he's just got this like quirky dorkiness to him. And these three characters, another Jaws comparison.
Yeah.
Because in Jaws, you have the three main leads go out on the boat to try and kill the shark. And that's kind of something they do here. They meet up with Angel's character, who's a tech. He works at the local tech shop and hooks them up with all this stuff to try and, help them capture it on camera, what's going on their farm. And there's a lot of other like subplots that go into it. There's a few scenes, and I think this is probably where you don't care for it as much.
Yeah.
There's a few scenes in the film.
Because I just don't get it.
Yeah, they are disjointed from what the other 75% of the movie is. It still connects.
Yeah.
But it's something you kind of have to dig into.
I'm going to have to watch a nice 2-hour long YouTube video, Nope Explained, to really gather it all.
You know, here's one of the things, too, that I love about that movie, and I've said it to some of my other buddies before. I think some of the best movies are the ones that you understand mostly, but they leave you intrigued just enough so whenever you're done watching it, you still are trying to figure stuff out and think about it, and you tell yourself, I got to watch that again.
Yeah.
One of my favorite examples of that is a movie called Lost Highway by David Lynch. It's just like a really weird, crazy movie, but there's so much I love about it. It has style, doesn't make a lot of sense, but then when you leave the film, and if you're into that style and into like a lot of the scenery, the characters and stuff, you just want to dig for more. And that's kind of where I came from with Nope, but I like Nope even more because I understood way more of the movie. And like I said, all the characters are played really well. I know a lot of like the big film buff review sites that I've read and like the other podcasts I listen to just like absolutely adore all the cinematography in this movie.
Yeah. Lots of nice shots.
And another great thing about it is this movie somewhat is a love letter to Hollywood. So, because like we said, the characters, they own the horse ranch of the horses that, you know, have been in films. And, you know, there's some little cameos and drops. He's wearing the hoodie from the crew that he worked on, Scorpion King. He was in the Scorpion King movie. But yeah, it really might be my movie of the year, man. I wouldn't call it a horror movie. Like I said, it's more of a thriller. But with that said, there's definitely some scenes that leave you kind of like, holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely got more out of it than I did. But that's not to say that I didn't like it. I still think it was a really good movie. What would you... Did you have a number for it?
I didn't drop a number for it, but if you're going to hold me to it, it's at least a 9.
Okay, well, see, that's because I was going to throw out... It's probably a 7 for me. High 6.
I got you.
Low 7.
I think I'm going to have to give it like a 9.25.
But, you know, the cast really carries it. Yeah. You know, Daniel Kaluuya, Keke Palmer, the other guy.
Brandon Perea.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him in anything
I don't think
else.
I have either. And that's awesome, you know?
Yeah.
And that also, I don't know if Jordan Peele was just like whenever he was having auditions was like, this guy right here.
Yeah.
Probably not just him specific, but just also to, you know, be a testament to the crew, finding people like that, you know, a lot of people don't know. Daniel Kaluuya is a pretty big name now, and Keke Palmer kind of is too.
Yeah.
But at the same time, prior to this movie, I still wouldn't consider it like, oh, that's like Brad Pitt's in this. You know what I mean? So that's just going to skyrocket them even further.
Yeah, but, you know, with the stuff that I didn't quite super get, and, you know, and a few of the other characters, I think that director guy just did nothing for me.
Yeah.
I really didn't need him there.
I kind of like that.
I think the guy doing the performance, I don't know if he was doing that on purpose, but he was like doing the worst job out of everyone he was with.
Are you talking about his acting, or who are you talking about? The guy that... The guy that was the...
He talks like this.
That's how that guy's voice... No, that's how his voice really is.
Really? He just sounds like that?
So that actor's name is Michael Wincott.
You're telling me that was not... He just sounds like that?
Yes.
That has... man.
I will show you other movies he's in where that's what he sounds like. So he was the main bad guy in The Crow, in the original Crow. Sounds like that in that movie. He was the sheriff... What's the sheriff's name in Robin Hood? Not the sheriff. What's his brother's name?
The one with Taron Egerton? Or?
No, not that movie. But Robin Hood has all the same like characters in it. It's just who played as him.
Yeah.
He was in 1992's Robin Hood, where Kevin Costner was Robin Hood.
Did you see the Taron Egerton Robin Hood?
Yeah, Taron Eggs and Bacon.
Yeah. With Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, me and Alyssa watched it. It was all right.
Yeah, it
wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It was directed...
I don't hear a lot of people talk about it, but I thought it was pretty decent.
It was directed and made by a guy that was one of the big creators, directors, producers of the Peaky Blinders franchise.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, he also, like I said, that actor Michael Wincott played in Robin Hood, not the Sheriff of Nottingham, whatever his like sidekick character is. I can't remember his name. And then he also is in Alien Resurrection that came out in 1992 or 1997 rather, which also had Ron Perlman in it and Winona Ryder, Sigourney Weaver, kind of a star-studded cast.
Yeah.
But that actor's voice is really like that.
I didn't think he did a very good job.
I liked him because one, I knew who he was, and I haven't seen him in anything in forever. And two, I thought he was just an interesting character. I will say my least favorite scene in the whole movie though was like his last scene in the movie.
Yeah,
and you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, he didn't do a lot for me. And the entire third act is great, but then like right at the very end, the alien starts doing some like just unnecessary things.
Yeah.
I'm just like, now why are we doing that? That's kind of like...
Well, I think that's one of those things that plays on one of the underlying themes in the movie is, human interaction with nature and the way nature interacts back with us. And I'm sure you kind of get what I'm talking about with like, if you don't look at it, all that stuff.
Yeah. That was a cool concept too.
Yeah, and it's just so creative, man.
But like, I don't know, and I don't know why I did that. I guess not everything needs like an in-depth. Like I was saying, it doesn't need an in-depth explanation, but it's also just like that's just kind of unnecessary. It's like I'm willing to admit that I just don't get it.
Well, I mean, we'll agree to disagree.
Yeah.
And I don't think we disagree that much.
No, it's still a fun watch. I enjoyed watching it. I would watch it again, and I would recommend it to people to, like, check it out. But I didn't get the same stuff out of it.
And, that's good that we have varying opinions on the topic.
Yeah, that's what movies are for.
You want to jump into Black Phone right quick?
Yeah.
Man, we've been over an hour. We've only done the movies.
Well, the other stuff doesn't require as much discussion, so I think it checks out. Black Phone, another contender for movie of the year.
Yeah, for Brett, not for me. Still, really
no.
Dang, it was very by the numbers.
Really?
But with that said, we're going back to that. Don't overcomplicate it.
Yeah,
it's still executed. Perfectly.
Yeah, no, the Black Phone is a movie that I was really excited for from the moment it was announced, right? When that first trailer dropped, I was with Kaylee, and it played before a YouTube video. Like, normally you skip the ads, but it grabbed me. I was like, oh, what's this movie that's coming out?
You were the first one to show that trailer to me and Alyssa.
Yeah. Like, so I was repping this movie day one, and then it got delayed 3 times.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. It was supposed to come out, and it was even worse because it had already played at a bunch of film festivals. So a bunch of people had already seen it, and then its theater release got delayed a ton. Yeah. But it finally came out not too long ago. When was it?
I think it came out mid-June.
Yeah.
The end of June, maybe.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah. And it was great. It was, I thought maybe the delays would make me lose interest, but, they kept dropping trailers. They kept giving us little updates about it. It's Blumhouse, which is, I love Blumhouse. Blumhouse, way better than A24.
I'll agree with that. Blumhouse is a little bit more of your like traditional horror that you look for, but I think most of us are traditional horror fans anyway.
I just thought it looked really interesting. Ethan Hawke looked great as the villain.
Great actor.
It came out, me and Kaylee went and saw it. And I'm not a horror fan. I think horror movies, a lot of horror movies do nothing for me. Yeah. I think, they just, a lot of them are really the same. They don't scare me. Yeah. And the best horror movies that I've seen are usually not even really like horror movies. They're more thrillers. And this one is more horror than thriller, but like it's still like there were a few things that it's more uneasy than it is like scary.
Right.
It doesn't rely on cheap jump scares or like, oh, look at all this blood,
I think one of the biggest things that I've noticed in our relationship doing this podcast and just talking about movies and stuff in general with you is you love a character, especially a lead character that you can attach to. You have to have like, it doesn't have to be the lead, like I said, but just somebody that you can get behind.
Yeah.
And I feel like this movie has what's the main character's name?
Finn.
Finn, I can't remember that kid actor's name.
No, I don't remember his name, but he's fantastic.
Really, and really just in general, all the young actors in
everyone
this movie
does really good
very
in this.
good. And I also think you missed one of the best aspects of this movie is it's kind of a return to roots for Scott Derrickson, who got his leg up in filmmaking in horror, with another great horror movie like Sinister. And he directs this movie with not an iron fist, but with a lot of, you can tell he's in the zone.
Yeah.
I really enjoy the way you can tell this movie. Also, I know you haven't seen Sinister, have you?
No.
It oozes that same kind of eerie, just overarching gloominess that Sinister has.
Yeah. But, like you're saying about that gloominess, the atmosphere is great. The color grading, like everything's got this blue tint to it. And then some of them have more like sepia browns. And like it all just works. Again, the performances are great. Finn does a great job. The character that plays his little sister does really good. Ethan Hawke is just phenomenal.
If I had one like thing that I didn't like about the movie is I wanted to see a little more of Ethan Hawke, as the grabber.
Yeah. Now I'm a very recent Ethan Hawke fan, right? Because my first thing I've ever seen Ethan Hawke in was Moon Knight as Arthur Harrow, and he did a pretty good job in that. It's Marvel stuff. He does what he's there to do. He did good. He did good.
One might say he's a harrowing villain.
You might say that. But then I saw a trailer for The Black Phone. There he is again. Oh, Ethan Hawke's getting tons of work. But he is fantastic in this. I think he just pulls off just like creepy weirdo so well. But then you also like, there's a part like you can like, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, trying to put my thoughts into words.
Yeah.
Not sympathize with him, but like
you can almost understand what why he acts the way he acts.
Yeah. There's something so real about him.
Yes.
Like you're like, this could be a person. Like, because he's not just like overtly evil.
Yeah.
He's like, this is just a deranged, broken man, and this is the outcome of that. And that mask is just tight.
Yeah, I know. Like,
love that mask.
Let's get him as like a DLC character for like Mortal Kombat or something.
I think it's so cool that it's the two parts. So like he can either have just the top or just the mouth, and then there's like the interchangeable mouths. It's just great. And then this movie does something I was talking about with Bullet Train, where there's a bunch of stuff that happens. And you don't think it's going to go anywhere. You think they play it off as, without spoiling too much, they play it off as like failures. They play it off as like, this isn't going to go anywhere. And then at the end, it all comes back together and it's just like everything starts clicking. And that's just like that entire ending sequence where you see everything coming together is just so cool.
Yeah, it throws you a little bit of a red herring a couple times too in there.
And then just just that triumph and like you're just so happy to see this guy, getting his dues.
See that's a big reason why Alyssa liked the movie so much. She just loves a movie with like a good happy ending.
Yeah.
And to stay away from spoilers, but I guess that kind of is a little bit of a spoiler. Like Brett said, this movie has this sense of triumph.
Well, yeah. Well, okay. Spoiler alert: the bad guy doesn't win.
Yeah. I think you summed it up pretty well there, though, with the use of the word triumph, and that's what a lot of this movie is, following the main character, Finn, and him overcoming a lot of the issues he has going on in his life, and he channels that through this scenario he's in where he is kidnapped.
Yeah.
And it's a very simple story.
Yeah.
But it's got like just enough nuance to it.
And then it's got these supernatural elements that are really cool, but they're not like overdone.
And that's the thing I love too, is like it's subtle.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. The only thing, like the only negative I have is James Ransom is in this movie as a little, like a side character. Yeah. He's not in it for very long. And I'm kind of torn on him, right? Because I don't think his character was necessary at all. But the reveal about his character is like, it got me. I didn't expect it. And I thought it was a really cool reveal. So I'm a little torn on him. Because like on one hand, he didn't need to be there. He didn't add much to the story. But the thing that happens with him in that reveal, when you like find out, his place in the story, it's like, whoa, I never saw that coming.
I kind of think his character, just for the sake of that reveal, is necessary.
Yeah.
But one thing I wish that they would have done different with that is I wish his character would have been written differently.
Yeah.
Because this movie is like 90% serious. And that's even with the supernaturalness.
And I, you know, we're no strangers to enjoying a little bit of comedy in our seriousness. Right. But he's like, it's kind of a weird, like,
I just think this movie would have been better 100%.
Yeah, there's no gradient, right? It's just like, here's the rest of the movie. Here's James Ransom's character. Right. It's like, okay, now wait a minute. Like, even the scenes that he's in are, like, brightened.
Yeah.
Like, the color grading on his scenes are, like, way brighter than the rest of the movie.
I didn't notice that, but I buy what you're saying.
So I see what they're going for, but it is a bit of a weird contrast.
So if you're going to give it a number scale rating, what you got?
9. A solid 9.
You know?
Bullet Train's a 9.75. Black Phone's a 9.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Further piquing my interest in pushing myself to see Bullet Train. I really like
Bullet Train. I wanted to see it again with Dad in theaters, but we couldn't find the time.
You know, I feel like I wanted to give Black Phone a 9 as well, but since I kind of like, I don't want to say more meh on it because that's not how I feel about it.
Yeah, but just not as
I am not over the top about it as you. Maybe I'll give it a 8.75.
And I can see that. I just really do enjoy when things click together like that. So I think
anybody that would give it anything below like an 8 is just like completely wrong.
Yeah.
Though it's just a movie that is.
And it also probably helped that I was so excited from it, just like from the jump, and had waited so long to see it.
You had the hype train completely on board.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much all the movies that we wanted to talk about. You want to dabble in some Comic-Con stuff real quick?
Yeah. We'll run through it. Marvel had some reveals at their Comic-Con. It was mostly release dates for stuff we already knew about.
Right.
Blade got a release date, Ironheart got a release date, Wakanda Forever got a release date, and a trailer. Yeah. Which looks great, by the way. Yeah, Wakanda Forever looks really good.
It was a really, really good looking trailer. Yeah. I love the way they mashed it up with music. I love a good like music mashup in my trailer. And then also the actor playing as Namor. Like, I love what they're doing with Namor.
Yeah,
with like
the Aztec. Yes.
Yeah, that's sick, dude.
Namor is going to be really cool. So that looks great. Ironheart's cool that it's coming out. Ironheart is making her MCU debut in Wakanda Forever.
Okay.
Riri Williams. I have such a hard time saying Riri. But that
doesn't really roll off the tongue.
Her armor got leaked via toys. It looks pretty cool.
Oh, really?
It's very unique. It's still got the red and gold, but it's got more.
I have not seen this.
I'll show it to you after. But it's got the primary color now is black and red with gold accents. It looks really sleek. I'm a big fan of it.
See, I love a black, like in the NFL or in football in general, like when people do blackout uniforms. Yeah. Even though black is nowhere near one of their primary colors, I still love it. Like
Fantastic Four got a release date, and they haven't technically announced it because they're announcing it at D23, I think. But the director for Fantastic Four got leaked the other day, which I'm a little skeptical.
Well, isn't it the director from? You say it who he is.
They did WandaVision. It's the person who did WandaVision.
I was gonna say I thought it was the director that did. Miss Marvel, but you're right. It's WandaVision.
It's WandaVision.
What's their name? Max?
I don't remember.
Max something?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't either.
Yeah, we'll check on that.
Regardless,
you guys can Google it. You have Google.
Yeah, regardless.
if you want to know their name,
I know you're skeptical. You're skeptical on the WandaVision director.
Yeah.
I enjoyed WandaVision.
Yeah,
but
granted, I actually maybe that's not fair because. Most of my problems with WandaVision are writing and story-based, which the director doesn't have much to do with. Mm-hmm. They didn't pen the script. So maybe that's not fair of me to say that I'm skeptical.
Yeah.
But, I do have a sore spot about WandaVision in my soul.
So you got written on here, Kang Dynasty. We definitely need to talk about Kang.
Yeah, we got 2 Avengers movies announced. One of them being Avengers Kang Dynasty, and the other one, which is far more compelling, being Avengers Secret Wars. Which, these movies, obviously we're excited. We're getting Secret Wars.
Right.
Kang's a cool villain. But, these things are 2024, 2025. Yeah.
I remember
and Marvel
seeing
has a huge habit of just, changing things.
I remember seeing you tweeting after Comic-Con saying that it all sounds fun.
Yeah, but you're so far off.
You're more excited for the more recent
I'm going to
releases.
focus on what's coming out sooner.
Right.
One thing I don't see a lot of, we'll dive into the Kang stuff, but I just wanted to touch on one thing I don't see a lot of people talking about that I'm kind of excited for. I'm kind of pumped for Thunderbolts.
Okay, explain Thunderbolts to me.
Thunderbolts. Well, right now it's kind of different than what it used to be because now it's just like another hero team. But when it started out, the Thunderbolts, what they are essentially is Marvel's Suicide Squad. They are villains put together to go do missions for the government to I don't know if it's the same like promise of, time off their prison sentence, but it's what they're reformed villains or like current villains doing stuff.
Is there certain villains that's already attached to this Thunderbolt film?
Nothing concrete, but things leak, things get rumored. The lineup's most definitely going to include Abomination. They're setting up some Thunderbolt stuff with She-Hulk.
She-Hulk. I gotcha.
Yelena from Black Widow is probably going to be, which Florence Pugh, my beloved.
Really?
What? Yeah, I love Florence Pugh.
Yeah, she's like pretty, but watch Midsummer and you'll be like,
dude, she was my favorite part of Black Widow. As mid as that movie is, she carried.
Yeah.
I love, and then in Hawkeye, I stan Yelena Belova.
Yeah, she was cool in Hawkeye, but I really liked Hawkeye in general. Like I love the way
Hawkeye's so good.
I love the way it was constructed.
Yeah.
I love me like
no
anything.
one talks about. I don't hear anyone talking about that show.
I love me anything that is adjacent to Christmas.
Yeah, and Haley Steinfeld, dude.
Yeah,
Hawkeye
cool.
was great.
Yeah,
the Return of Kingpin, dude. Go watch Hawkeye. If you guys didn't watch Hawkeye yet, if you're sleeping on Hawkeye, go watch it.
Yeah, Kingpin was tight. I like that. Yeah, I like the introduction of what is her name? Echo.
Yeah.
I love that the end of that episode where that's how you find out she's deaf. Yeah. She just turns on the bass as loud as possible to feel it.
It's awesome.
But anyways, so Yelena is in it? Yeah,
but I think Thunderbolts is going to be good. One of the most common, excuse me. One of the most, it didn't come all the way out.
You're right.
One of the most common Thunderbolts lineups actually usually includes like the Punisher and Deadpool.
Really?
So maybe not full villains, but like anti-heroes sort of. And then Red Hulk is normally like Red Hulk's normally like the staple of the Thunderbolts. If Red Hulk's there, it's a Thunderbolts team. But unfortunately, due to the passing of that actor who played General Ross, we will probably never see Red Hulk in the MCU, or at least not for a long while.
Who played as General Ross?
I don't remember his name.
You're talking about in the Edward Norton Incredible Hulk?
Well, it's all of them.
He played as General Ross in...
Yeah, he was in Civil War. They kept him.
I don't remember. Yeah. I'm sorry.
But yes, General Ross in the Ed Norton film.
Well, I mean, they haven't been shy from recasting, in the past.
Yeah, so. But they didn't do it for Chadwick, so they're kind of different.
I think that's a little different, being as like... Not only is he the main staple namesake character of a certain film franchise, he's also just super iconic
for that role. I wouldn't have recasted him.
No.
I think they should, but I don't know how they would do it. I have no...
You can't.
Yeah, it'd be very difficult. Yeah. Like, a lot of people want them to, because T'Challa, he's a very prolific character.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to have
It'll be very difficult.
Yeah.
And one thing that they can do, and I think they can do a good job of, is reconstruct the actual, like, how the story goes with a different character.
Yeah.
Not being T'Challa.
Mm-hmm.
But then you'll have, like, all the people that just want to, like, get pissy about it and say, that's not what it was in the comics.
Yeah.
But... I did not know that was that actor had passed away.
Yeah,
and he was the same one and everything.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for Thunderbolt. I think it has the potential to either be really good or really... I made a tweet. I said it. These exact words. I said it has the potential to either be really good and like fresh or like super underwhelming. Mm-hmm. But I don't see a lot of people talking about it. And that was one of my biggest things from the Comic-Con reveals. I was like, oh, hell yeah, Thunderbolts. That's going to be cool. Because it's kind of like a Guardians thing where like not a lot of people know about the Thunderbolts.
That's the good thing, man.
Yeah.
It's like Lil Wayne once said, like a true G, or like in lasagna, moving silent like the G. Or,
the wise words of Lil Wayne.
Yeah, I'm spitting bars over here. But anyways, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The dark horses, those are the ones that you're looking forward to, that usually come out of nowhere. Yeah. So I'm with you on that one. And now that you explained Thunderbolts to me.
And then Captain America 4, I'm excited for, just because Anthony Mackie's Captain America is great. You didn't watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Spoiler alert, he's Captain America now. He's got that suit.
I knew that.
Fantastic.
I knew that at the end of Endgame.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well, he gets his suit. You got to see that suit, man. It's a good suit. You know me and my suits. Sam Wilson's Captain America suit in the MCU. That's peak.
Okay. See, I really want to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier because I'm interested in U.S. Agent. Mm-hmm. I like the actor Wyatt Russell.
He is a very interesting character.
Another movie.
He's probably also going to be on the roster for the Thunderbolts.
Yeah. I remember her a long time ago. I had a Captain America comic, and I thought it was Captain America wielding a handgun. And I was like, damn, dude, that's so cool. And then, come to find out it wasn't Captain America. But Wyatt Russell also plays in this really like underrated horror war movie that I saw a few years back called Overlord. It's been on my back catalog for us to watch as well. I think you would dig it.
I haven't heard of it.
Yeah, it came out like 2018-ish. It's like a World War II war movie, but it's really more of a horror movie. It's like Nazi zombies, basically.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, man, it came out in theaters. Me and Alyssa went watching it in theaters. But Wyatt Russell was Kurt Russell's son.
Yeah,
you know that?
He's got a weird face, man. he's like.
I think he's got like similar facial like looks as Kurt Russell, but at the same time he doesn't.
Dad described it pretty well. He looks like exactly like what a mix of Kurt Russell and his mom.
Is Goldie Hawn his mom?
I don't know. I think.
Well, I know they played in a movie together, and I think they did have a relationship. And that would explain his blonde hair.
Yeah,
but I'm not sure.
It might be, but Dad described. He was like, because like normally when kids grow up, they don't look like an exact amount.
Man, you're struggling. I'm gonna
sucker punch the mic. I'm not. I've lost my awareness of it being here.
Yeah.
But kids grow up and they're not usually like a 1-to-1 ratio of parents. But Dad said that he looks exactly like what a 1-to-1 ratio of Kurt Russell and that woman would be. He kind of does, and it kind of leads to some weird facial features.
I tell you what, I know that you're not like a big Stranger Things person, but have you seen season 3?
I have not seen any of. I've never seen a single episode of Stranger
That's wild
Things.
to me. I think you'd really dig it. But there's this character in seasons 3 and 4 of Stranger Things. I think her name's Robin, and she is portrayed by the actress Maya Hawke. She is the daughter of Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke.
Oh,
and
really?
she looks just like if you mashed up Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke.
Well, she's pretty. I've seen pictures of Robin. She's pretty.
She looks a lot more like Uma Thurman, to be honest. But there's some times where you can be like, yeah, I can see the Ethan Hawke hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what were we just talking about?
I said Captain America 4 was cool.
Yeah.
We're talking about Thunderbolt. Taskmaster will probably also be in Thunderbolts.
Okay.
Hopefully she's better this time.
Yeah, that would be a good, not revenge.
Redemption.
Redemption, yes, for the character. You want to jump on some Kang Dynasty real quick?
Yeah. You wanted to talk about Kang. It's pretty...
Yeah. Well, I mean, all I have to say about it is Jonathan Majors. I was underwhelmed by the one thing that I've seen him in. But at the same time, everybody else seems to love him. Yeah. And I think he's a pretty imposing dude. So
yeah. Hunter didn't watch Loki. I did. Jonathan Majors made his debut as Kang, in quotes, in Loki, because he's technically not Kang. Whatever. Shenanigans with the multiverse and all that.
Correct.
But he was really good in that final episode of Loki. And, Marvel's really banking on him. He's the main villain of Loki Season 1. He's going to be the main villain of Loki Season 2, this time as actual Kang. He's going to be the main villain of Ant-Man 4.
Yeah.
Can't believe
Quantumania.
Yeah, Quantumania with ugly-ass MODOK.
MODOK's such a cringe character. Not cringe character, but his character design. Like,
it's kind of funny, though.
I've never enjoyed the way he looked.
No.
Anyways.
But, and then apparently he's the main bad guy of this Avengers Kang Dynasty. Someone on TikTok who I watch a lot, his name is Nikhil Clayton. He makes a lot of, I think his last name's Clayton. His first name is definitely Nikhil. But he does a lot of comic videos. He has a theory that it's not actually Avengers Kang Dynasty. He thinks it'd be kind of weird to have him as this but they kind of did the same thing with Thanos. Thanos was set up in Guardians of the Galaxy. And then, he was in a few other things.
Yeah.
But Nikhil thinks that it's not actually Avengers Kang Dynasty. He thinks they're going to pull, because one Comic-Con when Civil War was announced, they announced it as Captain America Serpent Society, right, to hide what it was, because Civil War was like, that's a big event that year, you know, and we already have our big event with Secret Wars, right? That's huge, right? So he thinks that Avengers Kang Dynasty is actually an X-Men movie.
Ooh.
And that they're going to announce it at D23, that it's, you know, it was an X-Men movie all along. Because again, 2 Avengers movies in
the same year.
In 1 year, with one of them being Secret Wars. Like that's a weird choice.
I hope that's the case because, you know, I do think it's interesting and cool to see who will be Fantastic Four and how they will be integrated into Phase 4 and just the MCU. But at the same time, my big allure is I want to see where they go with the mutants and the X-Men. And, you know, seeing those iconic characters, who gets cast as them, how they, you know, inject them into the MCU. That's what I'm really looking forward to. And I hope we find a lot out there. D23.
I think D23 is going to be Mutant Mania, if you will. I think that's where they're going to drop a lot of their stuff.
Mutant Mania.
Well, minor spoiler for She-Hulk, not really. There's a scene in She-Hulk episode 2 where she's looking at a computer. It's kind of like a fake BuzzFeed site. And one of the news articles that's recommended in that feed says, man with metal claws spotted in bar brawl.
I saw you tweet about that. Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's just so cool. That's like, there is.
That gets me pumped up.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I thought something that we could have done that would have been cool would be like do, you know, our fan cast for different comic characters.
Oh, that'd be an awesome episode.
Like do like a top 10 fan cast.
Oh, we should totally do that.
I think that'd be fun.
Oh, we should totally do that.
We'll put it in the Rolodex.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so other than that, you wanna wrap up here talking about our own respective shows?
Yeah, I'll start because I have less to say because I only have 3 episodes to talk about.
Yeah, go ahead.
And you have a whole series.
I mean, I'm not going to dabble so much into it, just solely based on the fact that I'm about to like pass out in my chair over here.
But I'll make it quick. Our newest Marvel show came out. It is She-Hulk Attorney at Law. It's great. I love it so much. I love She-Hulk. I was so excited for this show when it got announced. I was like, that whole lineup, because it was a lot of shows that they announced. They announced I Am Groot, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, and like a bunch of... Oh, we completely forgot to... I'll do a little aside right now. Daredevil's getting a new series on Disney Plus, following up from his Netflix run. It's called Daredevil.
I missed it there.
It's called Daredevil Born Again. Charlie Cox is back. Vincent D'Onofrio's back. You know, we all know it's going to be great.
The gang's all here.
18 episodes, which is crazy.
That's exciting.
You know, very exciting.
I'm so excited for some of these shows, like even Andor on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I'm don't get me wrong, I like the short seasons, but at the same time, it's like, give me a good show with some meat on its bones.
But no, when She-Hulk got announced, I was repping it. I was like, yes, I love She-Hulk. She's just so cool.
Yeah.
It's Hulk, but a lady, and she's a lawyer, and she's not like Hulk, because Hulk's cool, right? Hulk's great. Big green rage monster.
We destroy everything.
Yeah, we love to see the Hulk.
Yeah.
But then you got her, and she's more level-headed. She's a lawyer, but like she's still got that strength, and she's huge, and she breaks the fourth wall. It's my dad pointed out today. Anytime Jen breaks the fourth wall on the show, I just like light up.
Is your dad digging it anymore?
Yeah, no, he's liking it. He's liking it a lot. But she, you know, there was a point, like one of the characters from the B plot of the episode came in and was talking to her about the main plot, and she leans over, like she's not even in frame. She leans into the frame and goes, "Connecting the A and B plot, nice," and then leans back out of frame so that they can keep talking. And I love things that break the fourth wall. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, fantastic. Deadpool, obviously. She-Hulk, right? And I was nervous that they weren't going to let her. Right, I was nervous that Marvel was gonna like get cold feet, and they were like, "Only Deadpool can do that. We can't take that from him." But no, they went full steam ahead into it. She does it all the time. It's always great. The humor's great. A lot of the jokes land really well.
Yeah.
Some of the writing isn't great, but I don't care because it's not trying to be this like big serious. It's a comedy. This show is like we were saying earlier. A lot of the MCU can be considered a comedy, but this one,
there's no question,
it wants to be. You know, this show is It's like a sitcom-esque, comedy.
Well, hasn't her character pretty much in her entire installation in comic book history has been taken somewhat tongue in cheek?
Yes, she's always been used as she's a comedic character.
Yeah,
and it's great. Tatiana Maslany should be in everything all the time. I'm in love with her. This is the first thing I've ever seen her in, and she kills it every single episode. She carries. Like, even when the writing isn't great, she's carrying it.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, I don't care that what that character just said was dumb and stupid and didn't sound great, because Jen came back and she just fixed it.
Yeah, I got to admit, I obviously slandered it a little bit when that first trailer dropped.
Yeah, well, we all did, because it wasn't great.
You were skeptical about it some too. Yeah. But maybe after, and I've seen not just you, but other people say that it's not bad. And
I will say, it's still, we're talking about the CGI, by the way, on She-Hulk's face. I will say, I
just meant the show in general.
Sorry. I thought you were talking, because when that first trailer dropped, the big contention point was that she looked really bad.
Flag, yeah.
She looked really bad. But they definitely cleaned it up. It's still not great at times, but, it's still passable.
Yeah.
It doesn't really take you out of it too much. Well, I thought the show looked fine. Mm-hmm. My only problem with that first trailer was that the CGI wasn't great. But they definitely cleaned it up. We have a habit on here of shouting out beautiful ladies.
Yeah. We're going to shout out She-Hulk here.
We are. Tatiana Maslany, man. She's a great actor. She's so pretty, both just like as herself and She-Hulk. Like, I'm really digging it. It's not trying to be something it's not. It's funny. It's fun. It's a fun show to watch. You have a good time watching it. And, you got all these dude bros on Twitter that are mad.
You have like
it's like, shut up.
You have like a tall girl complex or something.
I do.
Because you was pounding the table for Lady D back in the day. So we all were,
It's my credit card. Give me 16 copies. Give me this show. Give me a Blu-ray copy of She-Hulk.
Yeah, so She-Hulk. Looking forward to the rest of it.
Yeah, no, I am. It's really good. She is the best part of it, though. Like it's not like the show itself probably isn't great, but she is so good at what she's doing that like it kind of just negates all the not great stuff about it.
Yeah.
So big recommend for She-Hulk.
I'll definitely have to start watching it, especially considering I've wrapped up the show I jumped into this past month. So I got into watching The Sandman on Netflix, and we're always skeptical about Netflix shows, especially adaptations of already existing IPs. That I didn't even give a shot in hell to Resident Evil because I heard it was just so god awful.
Yeah, it got canceled.
Already got canceled.
Yep.
So
the Cowboy Bebop syndrome.
Yeah, glad I didn't try that one, and that's another example. But one of the big things that I think was a good thing for the Sandman adaptation was one of the writers for the show for all 11 episodes was Neil Gaiman, the guy that wrote the comic book. So, which Neil Gaiman has a history also in film already. Have you ever seen Coraline?
I've not seen it, but I know
Chloe
loves it.
He wrote the book and the screenplay for Coraline.
I did know that he wrote the book.
And a few other things that he wasn't just involved in the novel. Yeah. He also was involved in the screenplay for the films. So another thing that I really love about this TV series is there's 11 episodes. The 11th episode is 2 episodes, and they're really just kind of like bonus short stories. So I'm not going to count that. I'm going to count 10. A lot of these episodes have like a cool, I want to call it Cowboy Bebop syndrome, not the live action one, the original anime, where it has an overarching plot, but a lot of the episodes can stand on their own 2 feet.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you have characters introduced in the first 2 or 3 episodes that, their arc gets played out in those episodes and then moves on to another character. This TV series is also, I'm also like falling off of a recency bias because I literally just bought the comic like 6 months ago and read everything that this TV series is based off. These first 10 episodes are based off of. I just think it's so creative in the way it's constructed in its story. I think it's also really creative with its characters and how you have action, there's really not a lot of action, if any, at all in this comic. It relies solely on atmosphere and creativity with the way it builds its story and the way it builds like the Sandman's universe. And I think somebody from the outside looking in, like you, I think you would maybe have a little bit of a hard time getting into it, as long like if you watched the first couple episodes and you weren't focused on it.
Yeah.
Because it requires your attention a little bit. But as long as you're paying attention, I think it's something you could get into. I really, like I said, I just really dig the creativity. I love the way they took the creativity from the way the comic book is and injected it into the live action feature that I'm talking about. And I do have to just say, Tom Sturridge is, he's got to be like Robert Pattinson's younger brother.
Yeah.
He's got this huge jawline and messy hair, and he's extremely stoic throughout the comic, but it works because that's the way Morpheus is throughout the comic. So
the Sandman's name is Morpheus?
He has many names.
Oh, okay.
He's mostly referred to just as Dream.
Oh, okay.
He is one of
Dream. Yeah. My favorite Minecraft YouTuber.
He is one of the Endless. So the Endless are created by God, and they rule the realms of whatever their namesake is, which Dream rules the realm of sleep.
Yeah.
You have Desire, Despair, Death, and I think there's 2 more. I think there's 6 total. But those are like the main ones that we dabble in this first season. And, you know, the way that they morph and mold each of these characters into either a good guy or a bad guy is really cool too.
And our guy, Sandman, he's a good guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But that's another interesting thing though, because there's some sequences throughout the show where you can tell that he's not a human. He doesn't relate with humanity, and he kind of struggles with that in the show some too. I think you would really like it too, because you specifically would like it too, because it has a lot of commentary on the world today and the way people should be accepted and the way people are viewed in the world. And what's crazy about that too is it's not like it was adapted by Netflix to be this woke TV show.
Yeah, it's like that in the comic.
Neil Gaiman wrote it this way in 1988. Like,
well, he's always been on the cusp of just like saying the right thing.
I think he's just such a forward-thinking individual, and I think you dig it a lot.
Yeah. Did they really play the song at all? Did they ever play the song?
I never once heard the song.
No, they don't.
I kind of like that, though.
Props to them, yeah.
I saw one...
that's kind of like a cheat code for like using that character.
I saw... It takes itself pretty seriously.
Yeah.
And I like that. I saw one review site use the term horror noir for it. And it does... That sums it up pretty good. Yeah. It's not quite a mystery, but it is a little bit. And yeah, you need to check it out. I really dug it.
Does he talk?
Yes.
Okay.
And
everything I know about the Sandman comes from Rise of the Guardians. I don't know if you ever seen that movie. Hugh Jackman's the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with like DC though, does it?
No.
Okay, yeah.
But
okay.
I mean, like it's the same guy.
I think that Neil Gaiman, when he constructed this universe, took certain liberties with, these.
Yeah.
They're not even really characters. They're like things.
Yeah, like entities.
Yeah, like dreaming and death and things like that. And yeah, like I said, he takes certain liberties
like characterizing concepts.
Yeah. But like it's also just interesting where he goes from the dreaming world to the waking world, and the way the dreaming world exists is really, really cool. The way he can, like I said, there's no actual like straight up action. The way he battles with certain things is all based around his powers in dreaming and in subconsciousness. And, one of the main antagonists in the series is played by Boyd Holbrook, who we were talking about earlier. He is one of the nightmares that Dream had created in the past, who escaped the dreaming world and was hiding in the waking world and becomes like a serial killer in the waking world. And it's really cool.
You've piqued my interest. Dad watched it, and he didn't have like a ton to say. He was like, Dad. He's just like, yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think you need to make sure you pay attention.
I think I'll check it out.
You need to pay attention for the first 2 episodes and let it kind of hook you. And if you're not into it after the first 2 episodes, though, you won't get into it. But yeah, you need to check it out.
Yeah, no, I think I will. I think I was gonna sleep on it, but I won't. I won't now. I was gonna sleep on it, but now.
And you know, if this goes for anything, I would say it's probably going to get approved for season 2. Yeah, if I was a betting man.
How much? Because I'd never heard of the Sandman before this adaptation got announced. How much content like from DC is there of him for them to pull from, or was it just like a one-off thing?
No, if I went and got my omnibus that I have upstairs, like it collects. It's funny because that omnibus I have collects like the first, I don't know, like 15 volumes of Sandman and 2 short stories, and literally everything in that omnibus is what they adapted in this TV show.
Wow.
So even the 2 short stories. Yeah. Those are the last 2 bonus episodes of that episode 11. Yeah. But if you look in the back of that, you know how like they'll have in graphic novels like ads for go purchase this, and this. It shows like a big catalog of other Sandman omnibuses. So there's a pretty big catalog.
Yeah.
And another fun fact about it is the original first like 6 or 7 issues were illustrated by Sam Keith. Sam Keith have you ever heard of The Max? Mm-mm. He's like a big purple, like buck-toothed Australian. Yeah. There was like a MTV series, a TV show based on it that came out in the 90s. And yeah, Sam Keith, he's most famous for that, but he also did some other popular artwork I can't think of right now. But yeah, Sandman, dig it.
Good stuff.
So I guess that's pretty much everything we got.
That's it. We could talk about the Winnie the Pooh horror movie.
We'll save that one for next time. I think we've racked up the minutes on this one.
We did.
As we always do.
But it was a good time. Mm-hmm. We had to get back into the flow of things.
I know it, man. I'm glad to be back.
It is good.
So for our next episode, we're going to review a movie.
Yeah, if you want to.
I mean, does a bear shit in the woods? Does Winnie the Pooh shit in the woods?
No, he wears overalls now.
He uses toilet paper. He's more...
He's from a more civilized age.
Yeah, he's at least got a porta potty. Do you want to pick it or you want me to?
I'll let you pick it.
Ooh.
Because I think I want my episode to be the fan cast one. I really like that idea.
That'll be fun.
I really like that.
For sure. Okay, well, I'll have to listen back to this because I think I said like 3 or 4 movies. And I was like, this is on my list. Yeah. So... We've
got a very long list.
I think I said like Pirates of the Caribbean. I've still got Evil Dead movies on there. What else did I say? There was one other movie I said today. At least one other one on this pod. Just have to listen back and find it.
We'll just have to rack up those. Everyone listening right now, remind us what Hunter said we should. Pop quiz. Yeah. You made it to the end.
Yeah.
Tell us what movies Hunter said we should review on the pod.
All right, well, I guess we'll wrap that up. Hopefully we didn't bore you guys to tears. Anybody listening, we're going to get back in the swing of things here. So
we're sorry we've left you in a drought for so long.
Bear with us. With that, I'm Hunter. He's Brett.
I'm Brett.
And Brett, wrap us up. Do you got the socials? Did you forget them?
I would never forget our socials. Never, if you guys want to check us out on social media... We're going to have to hire a social media manager because I'm terrible at updating them. But if you'd like to follow us on social media, you can follow us on Twitter at Real Rendezvous, all one word. You can follow us at Instagram at Real_Rendezvous_pod. And you can find us on YouTube where we upload all the episodes with neat little thumbnails and whatnot. Just The Real Rendezvous on YouTube.com.
All right, guys. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.